Hey everyone, and welcome to Give It a Shot. This is a show where I'll attempt to cover a wide range of products in a compact way. Now, these aren't going to be full reviews. I'm not going to be going into every single little detail, but I just want to give you enough of a taste to maybe show you why you should hopefully go out there and give it a shot. So for the first game on this show, I thought I would give a shout out to a wonderful little roguelike game, Roboquest. Now, while it's understandable to look at Roboquest and see it as just another early access roguelike game in an already packed genre, Roboquest immediately sets itself apart with a staggering amount of quality put into its systems. First off is how Roboquest plays. Built in the Unreal Engine, Roboquest excels at its shooting and movement. Aiming and shooting feels instantly snappy and responsive, and movement is buttery smooth. With movement options including double jumping, sliding, and rail grinding, which all add up to create a really responsive and enjoyable shooting experience, almost giving Roboquest the feeling of like being a cross between Doom and Borderlands. Next up is the gunplay. In addition to just straight up feeling great, Roboquest features a ton of different guns to use, and all of them can be randomly rolled with different levels, perks, and bonuses that'll change from run to run and from gun to gun. There are tons to try out, and many are certain to become your personal favorites as you progress. And speaking of progression, as a roguelike, progression is king, and Roboquest excels in this area as well. Players have multiple ways to progress, both in-run and out. For the in-run progression, players can earn power cells as a form of currency that can be spent in certain safe zones to upgrade weapons or to buy an assortment of run-changing perks. Additionally, players earn XP from defeating enemies, and earning enough XP will allow you to level up, giving the player a choice of a perk to help define their runs. And there are plenty of different perks to pick from, and depending on your playstyle, there are fun and inventive options no matter how your run's going. As for the out-of-run progression, players can earn wrenches at the end of each level based on how thoroughly they cleared out the zone, as well as how fast they did it. So there's a lot of room for mastery and plenty of rewards for it too. Not only that, but hidden inside each level are data logs the player can find by going off the beaten path. These data logs will give extra wrenches, and it is these wrenches that will unlock your cross-run progression. So players are going to really want to find these. This progression gives you bonuses to all manner of run-changing variables, from giving the player more choice in their starting weapon to unlocking new characters and traits and tons more. There's quite a bit to sink your teeth into. But all of this wouldn't mean much if there weren't challenging fights and fun enemies to square off against. And Roboquest does a great job in this regard too. They have all sorts of enemies like turrets, small claptrap-like robots, flying enemies, large mini-bosses, and man-sized robots with a variety of powers. The game has several different encounter types as well to keep the player on their toes. Fights that will include sprawling open world segments with the player traversing the level while dealing with the enemies that are present between them and their destination. There's also jumping puzzle-like encounters in certain corrupted zones, and there are also Doom-like encounters where you're locked in a cramped room and tasked with defeating all the enemies inside. The room has a life bar, and as you defeat each individual enemy, the life bar decreases until it's empty. The final type of encounter is the boss encounter. These giant boss enemies are varied and exciting. All of them take place in small arenas as well, and have unique mechanics and attack patterns. And they're all fantastic end caps to levels, and can be really tough depending on how your run's been going. All in all, Roboquest is quick, it's fun, and it's challenging. And did I mention that Roboquest also features co-op? Yeah, after players complete their very first run, they'll be placed in a hub world where they'll be able to go and invite or join another player on their next run. It adds an extra level of fun to an already great experience. So if you haven't already, go check out Roboquest. It's available on Steam, and at the time of this writing, it's actually free over on Xbox Game Pass. Give it a shot.